Taliban is intensifying efforts to find those who worked for the US and its allies. Anti-Taliban protests are spreading across Afghanistan. Another 60 Australians and Afghans with visas have been evacuated from Kabul. At the airport, thousands of others are unable to get through, but NATO officials say they're aiming to double evacuation efforts over the weekend.
Over razor wire, a baby is passed to a US soldier, too young to remember this maelstrom that others will surely never forget. Beyond the airport perimeter, chaos continuing unabated. Taliban firing to disperse the crowd, thousands of civilians desperate to escape them. Amid the mayhem, British soldiers from the 2nd Battalion Parachute Regiment fire in the air. As a US Air Force plane prepares to land, America has processed 6,000 people to evacuate in this 24-hour period, even as the State Department spokesman describes the scene with a startling euphemism.
We're aware of congestion around the airport.
Also startling, unarmed Afghans daring to bear their national flag, not the Taliban flag, along the streets of Kabul. The Independence Day demonstration met with gunfire from the Taliban. A United Nations report warning that the Taliban have accelerated their search for Afghans who worked for NATO or the fallen government, going door to door to find targets. Even as the Taliban leadership claims,
we want good relations, we want good economy, we want good trading, we want good diplomacy, but in return we want our values to be respected.
An Australian journalist who just got out scathing.
They turn up on the podium saying it's all going to be fine. It's not fine. People are being hunted down, they're being shot.
The leadership winning a measure of support from Beijing.
Although the situation in Afghanistan is not yet completely clear, we believe that the Taliban will not repeat the past. The Taliban are now more clear-headed and rational than the last time they were in power.
Confidence not replicated on the street. Outside the Canadian embassy, a frantic race to print names on scraps of paper. Hundreds of people believing visas were available.
There's war, misery. I can't even buy bread for my children.
In fact, hope was just a rumour. The embassy already evacuated. This former presidential security officer, disguised for his own protection, begging.
I am asking American forces for help because I was very close to them, and they shouldn't leave us like this. And every second I see myself closer to death.
Death came to Zaki Anwari 3 days ago. It's been revealed the teenager who played football for the national youth team was one of the desperate young men who clung to this C-17. He fell to his death trying to flee. As the US Defense Department tweets photos of its evacuation operation, a former Afghan interpreter for the Pentagon breaking down.
I'm appealing to the US government, to President Biden, to please save me and my family and the Afghan interpreters who work for your country. You're leaving us here to die.
Horror now on display outside Kabul airport, night and day. The chaos of scant surprise to more than a dozen US diplomats in Kabul who warned the Secretary of State in a classified memo last month of Kabul's potential collapse and their fear of catastrophe. Pruluan SBS